Hello, guys, and welcome to a new episode of the Halftime Oranges podcast with myself and my co-host, Mr. Jayant. What are you saying, bro?
Nothing much, pal. How are you?
Been a bit of a depressing week, I can't lie, especially for an Arsenal fan. We will get into it. We will talk about it. So we'll start off again with the midweek games, Champions League football. We had the game between City and PSG, 2-0 on the night. I wouldn't say for me it was much of a shock, but you saw how well Pep has organized his team. Remember, they didn't use a striker to start the game. It was a false nine in Phil Foden, 2-0 on the night. Di Maria getting sent off, but I think that was just PSG losing their head because you saw the fouls were flying, and it was almost like they
all of
given
them.
up. Yeah, they were just flying all over the place. They just kind of gave in and just wanted to take something out of the game. What did you think of that performance?
I think everyone's already said it.
I think we called City were gonna win the tie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I expected a lot more from PSG, although I did say with Mbappe out, they will struggle. And they showed that everything PSG threw at them, Diaz, Zinchenko, Stones, whoever it was, in the way of everything.
Diaz,
I think
in particular,
one of the stats
phenomenal performance, I thought.
Yeah, it got in the way of everything. And I think one of the stats was the last time Edison had to make a save was in the first half of the first leg, which says it all.
Oh, wow. Well, they didn't have a shot on target this game.
Well, they were all blocked, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Diaz literally put his face on the line for a couple of shots, I remember.
Concrete wall. Absolutely phenomenal performance.
I think they missed Mbappe. Clearly, they missed
Absolutely.
him. They're badly. They need that pace, the skill of what he can do. It proved evidence. City now through to the final. And who are they playing? A team I called. I said from day, as soon as Tuchel took over, I called it. Chelsea will make the Champions League final. You know what? They may even win it. No, I said they'll win the Champions League.
Yeah.
And you saw what they did to Madrid. That performance was, again, sublime. Mason Mount, in particular, I thought had an immense game. Tuchel is the man. Tuchel is...
I told you.
He's the guy. He is the guy. He's changed
phenomenal.
And this isn't even his team. This isn't the team he wanted, but he's taken the tools that he's been given, and he's made a masterpiece of that Chelsea side.
Yeah. And I'm so happy that the English press are now giving him the praise he deserves, because he is genuinely a world-class manager.
He's shown it. 2-0 on the night. Destroyed Madrid. Madrid didn't have a sniff. They didn't have a sniff. Benzema couldn't do anything. I think it boils down to the midfield of Madrid's an aging midfield who they really couldn't do much about it. Zidane, I think, is a bit stubborn there.
It doesn't help that Zidane does nothing in terms of changing his team or even other tactics. In the first leg, he tried to play that back three, just didn't work at all. And he somewhat tried to replicate it for whatever reason in the second leg, and again did nothing. He tried to race an injured Sergio Ramos back, and
they were desperate,
he looked
though.
poor.
Yeah, they were desperate for a good defender to. I think it was Varane was out.
Yeah,
they needed a good defender in Ramos, so it wasn't really surprised. But he wasn't ready. It was showed he was not ready, and they played evidence again. Chelsea 2-0 in the night, so that sets up the final: City versus Chelsea. Without regards to what happened over the weekend between City and Chelsea, who's winning the final?
Well, on paper, you'd have to say City. From their Champions League game against PSG to that game against Chelsea, they switched out 9 different players, which shows it wasn't their starting 11. But I just have this horrible feeling that Chelsea are going to somehow do it.
No, I've said it. They will do it. I've said it now. I've called it. Chelsea will win it. I don't think it will be a high-scoring game because both teams
No, it
are
won't.
very well defensively. I think
Yeah.
Tuchel's gotten the best out of Rudiger. Out of nowhere, Rudiger has been absolutely sublime for Chelsea. He's gotten the best out of him. So defensively, Chelsea are perfectly fine, and it's not going to be a high-scoring game. I think a 2-1. Just what you saw on the weekend, 2-1 Chelsea again.
No, I don't think so.
But did you hear what Pep said after that weekend game? He said that, now I know exactly how you guys are going to play against us come the final.
I
You
didn't hear that,
basically
actually.
told me your plan. What you've shown is what you will do. So now I'm ready for that final. I know exactly how you'll play, and I'm going to counter it.
I just hope he doesn't overthink it.
Do you think we'll start striker this time? Do you think he
No.
has to? He still
No.
sticks to the false nine.
Yeah, I don't see why not. It's proven. It's not like they're lacking goals or anything.
Goals from midfield. It's coming. The goal, they are getting goals from midfield.
Goals from everywhere. Stones has contributed midfield and even from wide positions.
Mahrez.
They've had it all, yeah.
He's been one of the players of the season, I think, this year, Mahrez especially. We talk about false nine. We're going to the Europa League game, and out of nowhere, for me, I'm now talking about the Arsenal Villarreal game. The game was lost in the first leg. The entire tie was lost in the first leg when Arteta decided he wanted to play false nine. People thought it was Pepe, but if you watch the game, he was playing wide left. It was actually Emil Smith-Rowe. Smith-Rowe tried to do what Foden is currently doing, but you can't give that role to a player who's only just come into the starting 11. He came in, December time when we beat Chelsea 3-1. He's been an amazing cam. You've now told him play a false nine position. Balls are going in the box, but you're expecting a guy who's less than 6 feet to try and score headers.
You see, the thing is, it's not just about his position. It's about the role he's playing. Arteta thought by playing this, attacking midfielder up front, that equates to playing a false nine, but it doesn't. You have to change the way your team plays, and he just didn't.
It was Arteta's fault. We're knocked out. No, I'm not going to blame the players completely. It was mostly majority of that blame has to go to Arteta. He decided not to play a striker. We had Aubameyang was still recovering, like I said, injured. You have Martinelli, Nketiah, Balogun. You have to play a striker, and it proved that he needed to. Come the second leg now, 0-0, one shot on target. The entire game, we had one shot on target, and with 10 minutes to go, you take off a striker who's hit the post twice. He was getting closer and closer, and you bring on Willian. And to make matters worse, you then decide to bring off Bellerin to put Willian at right back. So when you see that, you have to look at the manager and say, you're clueless. Tactically, you are clueless, because I don't know what the game plan was. Looking at it, if you're having one shot on target, you clearly don't have a game plan. You had to score one goal. All that was needed, one goal.
Yeah.
You can't say you didn't have the tools. You have the tools. Everything is there for you. You just can't put this team together. Arteta showed, I tried to back the guy. Even during the hard spell we had in November when we were losing games at home to Burnley, losing at home to Wolves, losing game after game, I still backed him because I thought, you know what? I can see that there is still something. He's missing an attacking midfielder. He got that in two players, Emil Smith-Rowe and Martin Odegaard.
Yeah.
They both came in. No excuses now. You have been given everything you need. A central midfielder in Partey, a defender in Gabriel. You signed Aubameyang to a new contract, and you have an attacking midfielder. The spine is there. I mean,
it's not just that as well. It's his not even reluctance. It's just his refusal to give some young players a chance. Why? What has Martinelli done to him? What has
Martinelli done to him? What has Willian done to get into the side?
Exactly.
That's what it comes to. What has Nketiah done to start in the past Premier League games before Martinelli? It doesn't make sense. He is almost Wenger-esque, because Wenger used to have this thing where he was so loyal to players and he kept them playing. He kept playing them even though they were as bad as they were. You had look at who was it? Vermaelen. It took him a while before he had to bench him and start playing Mertesacker, Squillaci, Giroud, Bentner. Ramsey, who was having a dip in form and he started playing on the right mid, constantly deciding to do it and it wasn't working. And Arteta's doing the same thing. And it is hurting him now. Looking going forward, we talk about Daniel Ek taking over. That's just the start. But right now, it always starts with the manager first before you go higher up. It's the pyramid. You start at the bottom and go up. Arteta does have to go. I'm now firmly in Arteta out because he's shown over 2 seasons, you finished 8th, you got a bye because you won the FA Cup. In the second season, you're not finishing in the top 8. You're going to finish maybe 9th if you're lucky. 9th is where you're going to finish.
If he's lucky. Yeah.
If he's lucky. So it's a decline. You have shown that you can't do it. This job is too big for you. I know for a fact in the future, I'm more than sure he will become a great manager. Going down the line, I'm sure he will learn from this. He will learn from this. He will go on to do other managerial roles and he will get better and better. But this Arsenal job was too soon for him. The board now have talked about having ambition, that they're going to back the manager, that they're not going to sell for anything because they want what's best for Arsenal. If that's the case, you have to sack Arteta. But they're not going to do that. They said instead they're going to back him in the window. I still don't trust Arteta. You could give him a Haaland, an Mbappe, an informed Sergio Ramos, all these players, and he won't be able to get the best out of them because he just can't do it. But that's us out of the Europa League, and that is effectively our season over.
Yeah.
You looked at the other time the same night, that was Roma United. Roma won in the night, but United had already got the job done in the first leg. Cavani, what a signing he's turned out to be. People talked about him being a panic signing. Remember, he was signed on the final day of the transfer window. Panic buy. Well, he's just signed a new contract, and I think he deserves it.
Has he signed?
Yeah, he signed. It's been confirmed. Fabrizio Romano has released a statement saying that he signed a new contract.
I didn't know.
Ole wanted him, persuaded him. You're going to start more games. He's scoring goals. He's got the contract. He's got the contract.
That's good. That's
very good. What does that say for United? What does that say for United then? They now go into the Europa League final against Villarreal. I've said it. Villarreal were not a good side.
No, they're not.
They're not a good side. Watch them. Their keeper was woeful.
He's awful.
But we just wouldn't shoot. Arteta tells these guys not to shoot. Play from the back. Play a football in a way where we can guarantee goals if you pass it into the box to shoot and score. Have a goal. You saw on the weekend, which we'll get onto, Pepe, cut inside, have a shot outside the box, goal. Test the keeper. If you test him, you can get goals. Sometimes it takes a deflection and it goes in. You have to try your luck.
Some managers just insist of trying to walk the ball into them.
Yeah, it's arrogance.
It doesn't work.
It's pure arrogance. But for me, United will win the Europa League.
Yeah.
For me. And it looks like it might be a Manchester derby for the UEFA Super Cup, which would be very, very interesting.
It'll be interesting, but it doesn't really matter, you know.
It's just for money. Money is just great fun. That's how they are. That was the midweek games. Let's touch on the Premier League games. I want to first talk about Leicester. And I told you in the last episode, Leicester will bottle it. And what have they done? They lost at home. They conceded 4 goals before scoring their 2. 4-0 down. My guy Willock. Arsenal dude. And if you look at Leicester's final games, who do they have? Spurs, United, Chelsea.
They're very tough.
Games. They're very tough games. They're not going to win all 3. So for me, that could be Leicester out of the top 4.
You see, I would agree. However, yes, Liverpool have a game in hand, but West Ham have also bottled it with 3 losses in their last 5 games. They are 5 points ahead of West Ham.
Who's this? Liverpool. Leicester, they're 5 points ahead of West Ham. Liverpool have a game in hand. If they win it, they'll be 3 points behind Leicester.
I still think Leicester do it.
I don't think so. I mean, I just told you the games they have left. They're not going to beat United. They're definitely not going to beat Chelsea. Their best bet is winning against Spurs. But even then, that's 1 win in 3. And if Liverpool manage to win their last 3 games, that will take them above Leicester.
I just don't think they will. I think Liverpool lose to United. depending
But that's the game in
on
hand. That is the game in hand.
that is a game in hand, but it depends on what side United put
And
out.
exactly, because United will be playing on Tuesday and Thursday. So, and Ole has come out and said, I have no choice but to rotate. I have to rotate.
Which I find it strange. I would have thought he would have played a strong lineup against United and play a weaker one against Villa on the weekend, but he played a strongest 11 against Villa.
Because his top four still isn't guaranteed. If he's thinking, you know what, I've got to play. I think he will play his strongest 11 against Leicester on Tuesday, because I think that's his best bet. I think it will be an easier game than against Liverpool. Personally, I think that's what he should do, and I think that's what he will do. I mean, even if you're talking about squad depth, United do have a good squad. He still has Van der Beek, which he refuses to play. Fred, Mason Greenwood on the right. If not, you can play Martial.
All of them.
Cavani can go up front. Rashford, you can rotate as much as he wants. But it looks like Maguire might be out. He picked up an injury, which is well, we gotta hope it's not that bad. I was listening to the radio, and the opinions about Maguire is very mixed. I personally think he's an amazing defender right now. I think he's now reaching the potential. He's now reaching his price tag. Slowly, I think he's England's best defender, centre half, if not John Stones. But I think he's definitely top two. And if he's injured,
100%.
England will suffer.
100%, absolutely. Because he's one of barring Mings, no one else can play left-sided centre-back. Or let's say Gareth Southgate won't trust anyone else to play left-sided centre-back.
That's, again, we can't trust Southgate. Me personally, I still don't. You look on the other weekend's games. Spurs lost at home to Leeds. Were they robbed? You think they were robbed with the VAR decision? I don't think it was offside. And if it was, then the game's done. The game's gone.
I think I didn't look at it that clearly, but again, I don't think it's VAR's fault. I mean, VAR's a camera.
Yeah, it's the people who control it. They decided.
It's not just offside. That. I think you need to somehow clarify the rules. Like Wenger was saying, if any part of the attacker's body is level with the defender,
marginal,
then you're onside.
That was the rule before. If you're marginal, you're onside.
But either way, with this new technology, you're going to have the same line drawing and tiny decisions, except 1 yard further. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
they've always said
they're not going to make a difference.
The what's decision in the attacker's favor, and I think it should be like that. It's not easy breaking that line, especially when VAR's on you. They lost 3-1 on the day. I think that could mean the end of Spurs' top four hopes. So they're going to gun for a Europa League spot. You look at the City-Chelsea game this time. I think it was a game of two halves. Again, somehow it just happens to be the first half, City dominated. And if it wasn't for Aguero, I don't know what he was thinking. I really don't. You shouldn't be doing that. Again, in a big game like this, in a game that is almost a preview to the Champions League final, you tried to do Panenka. It was a terrible Panenka as well. So that for me cost them the game. And then Chelsea came back, Ziyad. And I think the second goal was sublime, honestly. And remember, Callum Hudson-Odoi had a goal disallowed. He was offside, but it was like, here's a warning. This is what we can do. And they did it again and won the game.
Who scored the second?
Alonso. Remember, it was a cutback. I think it was a Timo Werner assist cutback to the middle.
But yeah, it just shows that Chelsea have quality and they have a real good chance for this Champions League final.
It shows what a manager can do, because this is Lampard's team, right? This is Lampard. This is what Lampard wanted, and he got it. This is what he got. Didn't work out for him. He couldn't put the team together if I'm telling you, if Tuchel was here at the beginning of the season with this team, he would be challenging for the title. 100%. City would not be as far as they are now. Chelsea
No.
would at least be second, maybe a couple points behind City, fighting for that title, pushing City all the way.
Mm-hmm.
Liverpool got a 2-0 win over Southampton, so they're pushing for the top four. Maybe they'll get it. Your team, Villa, great goal by
Mm-hmm.
Traore. I was watching that game live. What a goal. Left foot, top
I
bins.
didn't think you could do it.
Love to see that.
Yeah.
But in the end, quality should shine through. Fernandez penalty. I think it was a penalty. Douglas Luiz. I don't know
100%.
what he was doing. Greenwood, great cutback on his left foot, and Cavani had it. So
Yeah.
what does that say? And Ollie Watkins as well. I don't know what he was doing. I really don't know why he did that. You're 3-1 down, 3-1, not 3-2. You're 3-1 down. He dives to try and get a penalty.
Especially in this day and age when they can see everything, I just don't see the point. Like, why try and fool the ref like that?
And that's pushed Villa to the bottom half of the table as well.
Yeah. But 11th. It's disappointing considering where we were, but
it's an improvement to last season.
All in all, I'm happy with that.
Yeah. And
because we are still we've got a game in hand, and most teams above us.
It looks like I could win my little bet. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna finish above? You still think you finish above us?
I do.
All right, fair enough.
Because I think Grealish is coming back.
Our toughest game in the last 3 games is away to Chelsea on midweek. I don't expect anything from that game. I'm just gonna sit back, relax, and just enjoy football. I'm just gonna enjoy what Chelsea do to us, really, because we don't really stand a chance against them with the way they're playing, especially.
We got Chelsea in the last game of the season.
Well, there you go, and they're not gonna hold back, or maybe they'll rest players because they've got the Champions League final coming back. Who knows? We'll see what.
Yeah, maybe.
Everton got the win against West Ham. That puts West Ham in a precarious position trying to fight for the top 4. We got a win. We won against West Brom. That effectively relegates West Brom. There's a game tonight. Fulham-Burnley. Fulham do have a chance. They're still in it. I'd like Fulham to stay up. I wouldn't mind them. I like their manager, Scott Parker. I think he's a great manager.
Yeah.
I think he's got good.
I'd prefer them to stay up than Burnley. 100%.
Yeah, same. I agree. I hope they do it. If they do win, they'll be 6 points behind Burnley with 3 games to go. So
I don't think they will.
It's a tough ask. It's not impossible, but it will be a tough ask. It's going to be a tough few games for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a roundup of the week's football games. Let's jump onto the theme of this week's episode.
Cool.
Today we're going to talk about the players or the player that we think the top teams in the top 5 European leagues need. So Jay has come up with a list of players. I'm more about going to talk about the position that I think they're going to need. So let's go. Let's start off with the Premier League. We'll go with City. We'll go with City.
City.
We'll go with the Premier League table, what they say. So City, United, Chelsea, Leicester, Liverpool, Spurs, Arsenal, and then you want to talk about Villa as well. So we'll do that. So I think City, what do they need? I think they need a striker. Aguero's leaving. They need a striker.
See, I've gone a slightly different route.
Let me guess.
Well, let's say
I think you've gone for a fullback, left back.
I have indeed.
You don't raise
just quickly.
Mendy.
No, he has to go.
Okay.
I just quickly, as a striker, who would you sign for City then?
Haaland. No messing around.
I don't think.
Go for him. Why not?
I don't think Dortmund sell him.
If I was City with the money and the power they have, I think honestly, and also I think if Haaland is going to leave Dortmund, it will be City. It's so attractive to them. Champions League final, Premier League winners. Pep Guardiola is your manager. Win-win. If I'm Haaland, City, thank you, I'm coming. Yeah. If I was City, Haaland.
The only thing is, I don't think Dortmund sell for cheap. Or as
They've come out and said it themselves, no less than 150 million.
Yeah, and City aren't paying that much.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how much money they spend, they're not gonna spunk that much money on one player.
Mm-hmm.
So I've gone for left back.
You have a look at PSG, Madrid, Barcelona. These teams will,
but I just think City are smarter than that.
Okay. All right, left back. If you're going to go for a left back, what player? Okay, what player have you put down?
I was struggling to choose. I was thinking the likes of Robin Gosens of Atalanta.
Okay.
I was thinking of
Doing very well.
Rafael Guerrero,
From Dortmund as well.
Dortmund,
Okay.
and then I was thinking of Otavio from Wolfsburg.
Okay.
But I think overall, with the age profile and attacking and defensive stats, I've gone for Teo Hernandez of AC Milan.
Aha, yes. Very good left back. And
Because unlike the others, he plays mostly as a proper left back, not as a left wing back. And his output is phenomenal. Just take a look at his stats now.
Yeah.
4.86 progressive passes per 90. 8.1 progressive carries per 90 as a left back. These are phenomenal.
That's a really good stat, actually. Yeah.
And he's no slouch in the defensive end either. He has 3.2 tackles and interceptions per 90 with 12 pressures per 90 as well.
Phenomenal, actually.
Yeah.
That's really good. Quickly, your opinion. You think Juventus will make top 4? They lost on the weekend at home 3-0 to Milan.
Yeah.
It's not in their hands anymore. You think they can make it?
No. I think their squad is bad. And I don't think Pirlo, quite similar to Arteta,
too early, too soon for a big job like that.
He just looks tactically inept.
It will be Ronaldo's first season at the Champions League. Wow, that's something big.
It'll be interesting to see what happens.
We've talked City. Let's go United. Who do I think United need? I think centre back or centre midfielder.
See, I was thinking both of those. I was thinking centre back because Lindelof is not good.
I think Maguire needs a quick partnership, a quick partner. I listened to the radio as well. So many United fans agree with that. They have Maguire, who's doing really well right now. That he just need a partnership, a player beside him.
Yeah, who can recover for him.
Exactly, yeah.
I was then thinking of defensive midfielder, but
Declan
then
Rice, I would have said.
Yeah, but then I thought, hang on, there's one player or one position that's burningly obvious that they need, and that is a right winger.
Right winger.
Yeah,
because they were talking about it. Mason Greenwood can't do it on his own. He needs.
The thing is, he's not a winger.
He's a striker. He's a striker.
He's a striker playing wide. It's similar to like Aubameyang on the left.
Yeah.
Look, he can play there, but he's not effective. And then,
so who we're looking at? Sancho. They tried to get him last season.
I think it's the obvious one. Dortmund are going to sell him this summer.
Really?
It's happening. And I sent you something the other day. He's 21. Third season in a row.
Yeah.
30 goals and an assist.
Brilliant.
As a 21-year-old. That is insane. And it's not even in a Mickey Mouse league. It's in the Dortmund side that has been struggling. He ticks every single box. He's young, he's English, homegrown, and he's producing it year in, year out, and on the biggest stage. And
we have a striker with like Cavani.
Exactly.
In the middle, it would do wonders for him, honestly.
You can rotate up front with Cavani,
Rashford,
Martial, Greenwood. On the left, you've got Martial,
Rashford.
Yeah, Rashford. And then if Sancho needs a rest, you can play Greenwood or
even if Mata's still there. People forget that he plays on the right too.
What's the kid called? I've forgotten his name. The Welsh one.
Oh, Daniel James.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's also there, but he's just been a big disappointment, to be honest.
Well, I don't know what they're expecting from him, to be honest.
I mean, he started the season very well, and we thought, wow, what a wonder kid they've brought. But the inevitable kind of happened. He's not ready for a big club in a big league, honestly. Okay. Chelsea. Who do I think you're going to say? Chelsea. I mean, you look at the squad now. It's almost perfect. Every position is covered.
It's very good, yeah.
If you're going to pick one, maybe a right back. No. Reece James is doing a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Left back then. I don't think Marcus Alonso is the answer. So
I think Alonso's a fine sub.
Yep.
And then they've just spunked a lot of money on Chilwell. So I don't think they're
I
going to.
don't think he's been very good though, to be honest. So
I just don't think they're going to replace him after one season.
Kante's been a good DM. Attacking wise, you got Jorginho. Mason Mount has been phenomenal. Timo Werner is starting to get there slowly, especially with Tuchel. He's going to get the best out of him. So wingers are fine too. Callum Hudson-Odoi, Ziyech.
Yeah, I was struggling with them.
So I couldn't tell you what position they need really.
I've gone for a CDM
Kante though.
Kante's good, but he's shown that he can play slightly more advanced.
Okay.
And if Tuchel wants to play a double pivot, which he often does,
do you think he'll still stick with a 3-4-3 next season?
It will be one of his formations, and then the other one will be a 4-2-3-1.
So double pivot. So he's going to partner Kante.
It depends if he will rotate, I think, between Kante and Kovacic, depending on what needs for that match. But the player I think they should sign is the one Lampard really wanted, and that's Declan Rice.
Oh yes,
he's young.
That would be a
English.
phenomenal addition again.
He can play in the CDM role and as a centre back as well. And he has both the defensive capabilities and the passing skills to play two short systems.
They look like a very scary side. You add Declan Rice to that, they're definitely going to challenge for the title next season.
Because let's be real, they don't actually need much. They can afford to spend, I don't know, 70 million on Rice.
They can, But that's all of Hazard's money gone from the Ziyech sales, Havertz, Werner. So they'd have to offload a few players as well if they're going to.
I think they'll sell Jorginho.
I think so too. I remember we were linked to him last summer.
Oh God, you dodged a bullet.
Yeah, really did. Leicester. You look at Leicester now, and I've talked about how they've been bottling it. They were just a shambles. I did watch the game against Newcastle. They were a complete shambles. Leicester fans will tell you the reason why they're doing this now is in this form is because they lost Johnny Evans to injury. Soyuncu was a complete mess. He is a shadow of the player he was been the entire season. Who's his partner again? What's his name?
Fofana
as well. Just not doing so. I think
he's
young, but if you're going for the top four, and Soyuncu isn't doing it, you need.
The thing is with Leicester, they've got absolutely no depth.
You look at the bench, nothing there for them to bring off. So
apart from fullback, they've got nothing.
Yeah,
they've got no depth.
If we're gonna pick a player, I'm gonna guess you're gonna say centre back.
I've gone slightly different. I think a more pressing position is a right midfielder.
Right,
because they've signed Chenzi Gunda in the summer.
Yeah,
but he's been awful,
and that's surprising because he's a young kid from Roma. He was doing amazing in the Serie A.
He was a couple of seasons ago, but recently no. And if you look at it, Ayoze Perez is their other wide player. Again, poor. So the player I've chosen for them is Marcel Sabitzer.
Ooh.
He's been rumored to be leaving Leipzig.
Is he a right midfielder? I thought he was a cam.
See. Recently, Nagelsmann has been playing him as a number 8 a central midfielder.
Mm-hmm.
However, earlier under Hasenhüttl and Rangnick, he's played as a right mid or as a right central attacking mid in that 4-2-2-2 formation. So I think he's got the versatility to play right mid for Leicester, and if needs be, play a centre mid depending on what formation they choose. Because Rodgers does like to switch his formations up.
And I think it's cost him, to be honest. Right?
Hey,
I think it's going to cost him changing the formation as much as he has, especially at the latter end of the season. But
I don't think it's his fault.
And because the injuries that's come through, like Johnny Evans, for example, it doesn't help.
Yeah, and even who was it injured? Was it Ndidi injured earlier in the season?
Ndidi, the DM.
Yeah. So yes, their Leicester's recruitment is very good, but they still have very little depth.
Mm-hmm. Liverpool. let's assume Van Dijk, Gomez will be back. Robertson, Trent, TA is fine. Midfield, I think you might say striker.
I have indeed gone for striker.
So I'm guessing Firmino will be offloaded in the summer. I can because they just bought in Jota, so I can't see them selling him now. I think Firmino's
No.
I think this is what I think. I think Firmino's done all that he could there. I think they will offload him in the summer. Who's the striker you're saying they're gonna bring in?
See, at first I was thinking of Wout Weghorst from Wolfsburg.
Yeah,
but I thought
he don't fit. He won't
that's
fit.
the thing. He's too immobile. So the one I've gone for is Andre Silva of Frankfurt.
I think I might. Would you say that Liverpool need more of a hold-up target man kind of striker?
The thing is with
when you have
Silva,
Salah,
he can do it all.
Okay.
Because he's mobile too, and he's able to create for his teammates.
So he can bring everyone in.
Yeah, in the league this season, he's got 25 goals, 7 assists in 30 matches.
Brilliant.
But in his time in Frankfurt, he's got 46 goals and assists in 45 games.
Goal a game almost.
Phenomenal.
And assisting, yeah, brilliant. He's That
and he's young, or he's youngish at 25.
He's in his prime.
And yeah, he's got everything. He has 2.56 shot creating actions per 90, which shows that he can feed in Mane and Salah and the likes. But he's also good in the air with 3 aerial duels, 1 per 90, and with crosses from
Trent and Robertson. Yeah, they're gonna.
Yeah, he looks like the perfect signing, and he's not going to be too expensive either because Frankfurt, they're reasonable with their signings.
And also they might miss out on the Champions League spot because Dortmund have now finished 4th. Yeah, they might just miss out. It'll be cheaper for that reason.
So I think he's perfect for them, to be honest.
He will be a great addition. Spurs. What have they been missing? Well, at the beginning of the season, you had a fantastic partnership in Kane and Son doing very well. On the right, you have Mora, Bergwijn. In the middle, you have the likes of Lo Celso. Dele Alli has now picked up some form.
Yeah.
Ndombele should be playing more games. A lot of Spurs fans will argue that. Fullbacks wise, Sissoko in the middle as well.
Højbjerg.
Even Højbjerg. He started very well in the beginning of the season. Good DM role.
Yeah.
Who's the fullback? I think you're going to say right back.
I've gone for a player who plays
centre back. Right back or centre back is what I think you'll say.
Okay, so I've gone for a player who plays both right back and centre back. Because depending on who the new manager is, I actually think Aurier and Doherty.
Woeful. Terrible.
Yeah.
And they just bought Doherty as well, and he's
exactly.
It looks like Aurier will be offloaded. Doherty will play second fiddle to who you going for?
I've gone for Nordi Mukiele.
Oh, from RB Leipzig. Yes. He can play both for centre back and right back. Yes, he can.
He's under Nagelsmann. He's played right back almost always, but before he played centre back, and I think he's perfect for them. He's got the athleticism to play a high pressing right back, but he also has the stability to play centre back as well.
I think Eric Dyer has been absolutely appalling this season as well. That will definitely be a big help. We'll go with your team first, and we'll come to Arsenal. Villa. I think the forward line is fine. The midfield, McGinn. Who else you got in midfield? I've already forgotten now.
We've got McGinn, Douglas Luiz, Marvin Nakamba.
Yeah, so the midfield
Barkley's going to piss off.
Thing is, he had an amazing start to the season. A start no one thought Barkley would hit the ground running as hard as he did, but
he was perfect.
His form has dipped significantly. Very big decline.
He's dropped off a cliff.
Yeah, big. Defensively, I think the keeping situation is perfectly fine. Emi Martinez has done a lot more than that. Well, I knew he was going to do this well. I knew he was going to be as good as he is.
I'm so smug.
Matty Cash is fine. Matt Target is fine. Someone to partner Mings is who I think you're going to go for.
No, I think Konsa's the best centre back,
Okay.
and he's still young. Mings is still good. I think Dean Smith has to work out the defense a little bit.
Maybe left wing then, because Grealish plays left, but he's better as attacking role. So I'm thinking left wing.
I haven't got an exact position. What I've done is a player who can play in the attacking line but take the creative burden off Grealish. And I've gone for Amin Harit from Schalke. Now,
They've just been relegated as well.
I was thinking of Mateus Pereira from West Brom, but I'm thinking he's done a few very good performances, but Amin Harit has a lot more experience. He's also performing better than Pereira, even for this historically bad Schalke side. And yeah, he shouldered some of the creative burden from Grealish. So let me just rattle you off some of his stats. Even in this awful Schalke side, he has 0.25 assists per 90. He has 3.6 shot creating actions per 90. So if you don't know what a shot creating action is, it's a pass or a dribble that leads to a shot. So it can be either the pre-assist or a dribble that leads to the assist. Does that make sense? He dribbles 4 per 90, as in completed, and then his progressive carries 7 per 90 is phenomenal. And if he can play on that right hand side, or even on the left, and Grealish as a cam, I think that's perfect. And with Schalke, in the amount of debt they're in, being just relegated as well, I think he'll be cheap as chips. I'm talking.
It will be very cheap. Million. Yeah, I think even 10 million is again, to be honest.
Because I would assume Villa would want to sign in other positions too. So spending such a little amount on such a great player, it can only be a good thing.
I think so too. We'll go to my team now. Let me tell you what I think we do need as a whole. We need a lot.
First of all, you need a new manager.
I did say that. That's the first and foremost. We did a new manager, 100%. But we know that's not going to happen because, me personally, I think the likes of Edu, Vinay, they have too much pride in this plan, this process that they talk about and because Arteta's part of that, they don't want to drop him because they know if they drop him, then everything was a mess. This process plan.
Yeah, they're admitting they failed.
Exactly. They would basically admit they failed, and they don't want to do that. It's pride. No. It's completely pride, and they don't want to swallow it. So we're going to suffer even more now because of that. So let's look at the position I think we need. I think we need a backup left back to Tierney. I think we need a right back. Hector Bellerin is going. Cedric, I think it shouldn't be the main guy. I think he should play second fiddle.
Absolutely.
I think we need a DM, someone to partner Partey, someone to complement Partey.
You need a lot.
I think if we can hold on to Odegaard, I think we don't need attack midfield. I think we're fine there. I think we need one more winger on the right. I think that's what we need. So we need a winger, a DM, a right back, and a backup left back. We need 4, max 5 players.
Which is a lot.
And that is a lot. And we need to overhaul a lot. So Kolasinac, for example, he's coming back. We need to sell him. Ainsley Maitland-Niles needs to be sold. And Kete needs to be sold. Guendouzi, I think we should sell him. Torreira, I think we should sell him too. We could rack up almost 60 to 70 million pounds from these sales alone.
In theory, but I don't know who's going to buy these players.
No, that's the issue. Willock as well can be sold. I know Newcastle want to keep him. Who's the other Arsenal player he's been loaned out? He's doing very well. In the league, is it? No, it's not. Willock. I can't remember. Let me look at the table. Look at the players. I mean, Ainsley, he hasn't done anything at West Brom, to be honest. So
Yeah.
it'll be hard to sell him. And if we do, it might be a championship side, even if.
Yeah.
But let's go with what you've gone for. Who have you chosen?
So
What
I
position?
was thinking a winger, but
You
then
went
I
for
thought,
winger. I don't think we need that
no, I
more.
haven't.
Go
I
with
haven't gone for winger.
go
I
with
was
what we
thinking
need the
that
most.
originally.
What do we need the
I've
most?
I've gone for right back.
Yeah, I figured you would.
Yeah.
Hakimi?
And
I think you might say Hakimi. No, no
you're not
Hakimi.
getting Hakimi.
Max Aarons then.
No,
No Max Aarons. Who else did you come?
I don't think Norwich sell him.
Give me a clue of the league you've picked.
Bundesliga,
Bundesliga.
my favorite league to shop in.
Bundesliga.
I don't think you got him.
Is it a Wolfsburg player?
Yes.
I figured. I don't know his name. I can't remember. Actually,
There's two.
he's a Swiss. He's a Swiss. He's Swiss?
Mm-mm.
I can't remember then. Tell me, what's the name?
Okay, the one you're thinking of is Swiss, which is Kevin Mbabu.
That's it. Yeah.
However, I haven't gone for him.
Okay.
I've gone for a player who's played right back and right mid for them. So I thought this would give you greater
Diversity. Yeah.
attacking output. And I've gone for Vidler Baku.
Baku, yeah. Okay.
He's a 23-year-old German. As I said, he can play right back and right mid. He's also, for a couple of games, played as a centre mid, but you don't want him there. And he's quality in any role. He has 2.5 shot creating actions per game, which is what you want for a right back.
Mm-hmm.
Defensively, he's got 3.6 tackles and interceptions per 90 and has 2.5 blocks per 90. What else? Pass completion leaves a little to be desired at 74%, but playing in that Wolfsburg side, who are heavily crossing based, and as he does play as an attacking midfielder, I think that's all right. If he plays right back solely, that will increase. And I think you can get him for relatively cheaply as well, which is what you want.
Do you think we have a shout of getting the likes of Buendia?
No.
All right. Why not Max Aarons? I would like Max Aarons over Hakimi. There's been a lot of rumors that Hakimi is willing to leave. But me personally, I think we should go for someone who's homegrown and knows the Premier League and who's going to hit the ground running immediately.
I agree with all of that.
So why won't Norwich sell him?
They're freshly back in the Prem, and I don't think they're going to sell any of their best players, especially if they go down. Yes.
Wasn't that the
I don't
case
think they will.
in January? We talked about wanting to get the likes of Buendia or Max Aarons, but they weren't going to sell because they're fighting to get back in the Premier League. Now they are here. They have the championship money from winning the league. I don't know how much that is. They can get the money from the likes of Buendia or Max Aarons and build a squad that can at least survive the Premier League. Because this is almost the same team that was relegated last season, right? So what makes them believe that they can do it again? I think personally they should take the bait and take the money because they will get maybe about 25 to 30 million for the likes of Max Aarons. He's English, remember, they always go for a bit more than they should.
Yeah.
Build a squad around that money and survive.
See, they've built with Daniel Fark, who's a decent manager. But the thing is, the amount of money they want for those players, they're not going to get. Like, I don't think Arsenal spend 30 million on a right back. I just don't see it. With the amount of holes they have, I can't. I'd say maximum 25 on a right back, and I don't think they sell them for that much. I think you can get Baku or another good right back for that amount of money. Because even your wage bill, it's still very bloated.
Ridiculous, yeah, very.
So I don't think you spend more than 50 million this summer, and I don't think you want to spend
then that's the
half
problem,
of that.
isn't it? It's another discussion to have real quickly. If we spend only 50 million in the summer, then no, we're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Premier League. Let's go to Ligue 1. Interestingly enough, PSG have almost bottled it by drawing to Lens away from home. That puts them 3 points behind Lille with 2 games to go. It's not in their hands anymore. If Lille win their next game, I actually don't know how Ligue 1 works. If there's head-to-head like La Liga, for example. So Lille just need 4 points in the last 2 games, which, remember when we talked about their run of games, was very favorable.
Yeah.
It's very good. Before we go on to the player that PSG need, if PSG don't win the title, is that Pochettino getting sacked?
No. There's no better coach out there.
I'll tell you something. If he gets sacked, let's nab him up real quick. No messing around. Let's take Pochettino. Don't mess around. He will do wonders for us.
Absolutely, but no, I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't see it either. Okay, so PSG. I'll look at the City game, and what were they missing the most? They had Neymar, Mbappe, so I think that's the wing sorted out. They have the likes of Icardi, Moise Kean up front. In the middle, Verratti,
Icardi was
Paredes.
bad. Can I
He
just
was
say?
bad. He was quite bad.
He was
and
awful.
It's crazy enough because he was a great player for Inter Milan. Was it? He was Inter Milan. He was a
Yeah,
great player for Inter Milan. Great striker. His stats in Syria were phenomenal. So I think they're going to be patient with him. They're not going to try and get a striker. No way. In the middle, you can put Di Maria there as a cam. You got Herrera, Paredes, Idrissa Gueye, Verratti as well. So I can't see them looking for another midfielder.
Even like Mickey Mouse players like Draxler, Sarabia.
Have you heard they've offered him a new contract as well?
Yeah.
That's what Neymar's also signed up till 2025. Yeah. He's not going anywhere. Defensively, Kimpembe, Marquinhos, I think they're fine. So
amazing centre backs, both of them.
Yeah, I think they're really good. Honestly, I think they're really good centre backs. So and they get goals as well. Marquinhos got a goal in the first leg against who knocked them out? City. I remember in the first game of 2 halves. So I think you're going to say fullback. Most notably left back. I think Florenzi is fine at right back. I think he's a proven right back. He's done very well in Syria before joining PSG. So I think they'll be patient with him. But I don't think they could be patient with their left back.
So. The thing is with Florenzi and the right back situation is I just don't know who they can get that will be a significant upgrade on Florenzi. Whereas left back, I can see some upgrades.
Yep.
Even the left back situation, there's not actually that many good left backs out there. But I've gone for Rafael Guerreiro.
From Dortmund, yep.
Yes, he speaks fluent French. He's born and lived there. And he also has a versatility to play left back, centre mid, and left wing.
Sweet.
So I think he can. I think Poch will like him, and he can help him out a lot. So yeah.
I think they need something big because it is a failure of a season if they don't win the league, especially with the power.
They won't win the league at least.
Yeah, that's huge. That's big. That means problems galore for them. Let's move on to Serie A. Let's start off with Juventus first. We just talked about them. They may not make the top 4. We've always argued that their biggest problem is their midfield. Who they have in the midfield? Dybala, Rabiot, Ramsey, Chiesa, although I think he's a wide midfielder.
He's a winger. In the midfield, they got Weston McKennie,
Bentancur. Who's the other one? Did you say Bernadeschi?
He's a
wide midfielder again. Yeah. So, what do they need more?
Arthur as well.
Arthur, to get a switch with Pjanic. Is it more of a midfielder, attacking midfielder, DM? Which are you going for?
See, I hate Juventus's midfield. I think it's awful, and their squad planning has been atrocious. However, with the amount of money they've spent on that midfield in the last 2 transfer windows alone, with Weston McKennie, which is about 25 million, plus Arthur, which is about 60 million. That's 85 million on 2 centre mids. Plus before that, They brought on Rabiot, yes, on a free. Ramsey, yes, on a free. But again, not the best players. So I've gone for a right back because I think Quadrado is getting on,
He
and
was
they've
always
got no one else
a
behind
he
him.
was always a wide attacking midfielder.
Yeah, he's just
Quadrado.
been converted,
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think it's worked out for him particularly. So
and
right back, okay, yeah,
there's no depth behind him either.
yeah.
And I think that's probably the most pressing position, let's say.
Hmm.
And I've gone for the player you suggested, Kevin Mbabu.
Okay.
I think they need a right back who's a lot more stable defensively, and I think Mbabu provides that. He has some incredible defensive numbers: 16 pressures a game,
Wow.
3.82 tackles and interceptions, 3.98 clearances, 2.7 blocks, and 2 aerial duels, 1 per 90. As a fullback, that's amazing.
Hmm.
He's a decent age, 26 years old, and quite tall for a right back at 184 centimeters. So
That's very
I
good.
think he'll be perfect
It's the
for
whole
them.
package almost, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's Juventus. They're struggling now. It'll be calamitous if they end up in the Europa League. Can't imagine that Ronaldo in the Europa League. Quickly, also there was breaking news almost. The Serie A. I don't know what it is. If it's the president or CEO, I don't know who it is, but he's come out and said that if Juventus persist with staying in the Super League, they will not be allowed into Serie A in next season.
Really?
He's come out and said that. It's in all the newsletters. You can see it.
Wow.
So
I
if
didn't
they
know that.
persist, come next season, if they're still in the Super League, they will not be in Serie A anymore.
That's crazy.
What does that say for Juventus, for the fans of
Well,
football?
Juve fans are one of the only fans that were pro Super League.
And that's crazy, isn't it? Their president as well was one of the founders of the
He's
Super
an
League.
idiot. I hate him so much.
Yeah, he's come out and said that it's still happening. That they talk about how that UEFA are
The
a threat.
arrogance of that man is ridiculous.
They talk about how UEFA are a threat, that their ways aren't good. Basically, that they're what they said, almost like oppression, like almost fascism that UEFA is doing. That's what they're trying to say. I think it's completely ridiculous and nonsense, to be honest.
No,
but if they do persist, and this is the question I want to ask you, what does it leave the players like Ronaldo? Because there's no way he will be there if they still persist with the Super League that won't form with only 3 teams in it. So where do you think with the likes of Ronaldo, Dybala, Chiellini, these big players, these big star names, does that mean they'll be open to leave?
Chiellini, Bonucci, they're at the end of their careers anyway. I think that's neither here nor there for them. Ronaldo, yes, he's old, but he's
still a big name, still a huge name.
He's different. He will go somewhere else.
Where would he go? I can't imagine him going back to Madrid, or maybe he could.
No. I
can't see him coming back.
Sailed.
I can't see him coming back to the Premier League.
Neither can I.
So that would leave Ligue 1, PSG. Again, that would be oof. Imagine that's the front line: Mbappe, Ronaldo, and Neymar. Oof.
It would be phenomenal.
It would be, and then Bundesliga.
He's not coming to the Bundesliga at all. No chance.
If not that, then you can only see him going to America, maybe the Qatar League.
No, it won't be Qatar. It could be America, just to pad out his kind of marketing there.
Maybe into Miami, David Beckham's team. It's a bright ongoing brand right now.
I just don't see him wanting to go to that part of the country.
Miami, Florida. What you think more LA?
I'm thinking either there or New York side. I think if he goes, it'll be to a big city, He's not going to go to like I don't know, DC United like Rooney or
No.
these places. He's
It
gonna
would be a big
want to
team.
go to a place where he's gonna advertise them properly. I don't think he's gonna go to New York because I don't think he signs for the Red Bulls or NYCFC.
No.
So that could mean, LA Galaxy or someone.
Could be. You want to talk about the other two Milan sides? Let's go with Inter Milan first.
Yeah.
They won the league. Phenomenal team in the league, but they were terrible in Europe. They got knocked out of the Champions League. They're knocked out of the Europa League. Oof.
They'd be bad.
I'm looking at their lineup now. I think their strike force is, I think it's perfect. Fine. Martinez, Sanchez, Lukaku. The midfield, you have Eriksen, Vidal, Vecino. Who else is there? Padelli.
Barella, I think.
Barella, yeah. The defense, this is Conte, so he likes to go through at the back. Godin, Bastoni, Ranocchia, D'Ambrosio.
De
Vrij, wow, what a defender. You got the wing backs in Hakimi and Ashley Young. So I think, and Ashley Young, mind you, he might be going to Watford come summer, which would be quite interesting. So I can only assume that you're going for left back or left wing back. Wing back. Yeah.
And I think...
Give me 1 second. My laptop's about to die, so you put this on charge. But you continue.
Disaster.
Yes.
I think the perfect player for them is Robin Gosens from Atalanta, like we previously mentioned. He plays in the league, phenomenal player, decent age as well, at 26. Atalanta are not going to charge a huge sum for him. I think he's perfect. He has good attacking numbers and defensive numbers. So, yeah, I think he's the one. He has a progressive passes of 5.97 per 90. A shot creating actions of 2.2 per 90. And defensively, he's no slouch with 3.4 tackles and interceptions per 90. So I think he would be perfect for Conte.
Yeah.
The only question is if Conte stays there.
The people, I've heard a lot of Arsenal fans talk about how they want Conte. When I heard that, I was thinking, does that mean he's going to leave in the summer? Has there been any rumors saying that he wants to leave?
No, but he has already, and he has a track record of kind of blowing up and having a massive fallout with
the owners.
With the hierarchy,
Yeah.
And
I remember he gave the finger to the Juve president the last time they played each other. I don't know if you remember that.
But he has had a few falling outs, including, the signing of Eriksen and all that jazz. But I can imagine he'll stay for
at least
one more season, unless there's a massive blow up in the summer.
It's up to him then, isn't it? He's supposed to calm his ego down. Look at AC Milan now, the other Milan side, the red part of Milan. Looks like they're gonna finish third in the league behind Atlanta, which I think it's good. It's nice to see the Milan team starting to find. They're like the sleeping giants of Europe.
Yeah, exactly.
They've been the sleeping giants, and they're slowly starting to wake up and become that team that we all know that they are.
Yeah.
What do we think they need? You look up front, Zlatan signed a new contract, still doing what he does, killing it, getting goals, what you like to see. They like to play a 4-2-3-1. So they have Diaz as attacking midfielder, the Turkish left midfielder, I can't pronounce his name to this day. Yep, brilliant player. Defensively, we talked about Hernandez, the left back.
Yeah.
Tomori.
Good.
He's on loan there, isn't he? He's on loan, I think.
He's on loan with the
option to buy, I think.
It's an optional obligation. I can't remember, but either way, they'll take it.
And he's had a very good season. He just scored a goal against Juventus in that 3-0 win.
He's been good.
But I think if Chelsea nab him back, wow, Chelsea look like a very solid side.
They won't. They don't need him.
They might do. Thiago Silva's only got not many years left in him.
They've got so much depth.
They do, to be fair.
And if they want to send him back, I think they'll just go higher than
Go buy
Tomori.
one, yeah. So if looking at this squad, I think maybe a DM.
See, I quite like their DMs
Benaker and Kessie.
Ismail Benacer and Fonkesi. I think they're great. Their attacking force with Ibrahimovic. Behind that, they got Mandzukic, who's been bad, but he's a body, right?
Yep.
They've also got Ante Rebic, who can play on the left
Yeah,
and
Rebic.
up front. He's been good. So, I've gone for a creative midfielder.
Creative midfielder. So not Diaz. To replace Diaz.
No, because I think I might be wrong, but I think he's on loan. He is on loan. He's on
Oh, is
loan
he?
from Real Madrid. Yeah.
Aha, Brahim Diaz. He's a good player. So if the Madrid get him back, or you never know, they talk about how they're in what £1 billion of debt. If that's the case,
they're
then
in Barcelona are
£1
in
billion
1.2 billion
and
in
Madrid
debt.
800.
Yes.
Yeah, so they do need to make some sales. You never know.
Yeah.
They could keep him. Odegaard is another one. We could keep him, give him the right amount of money.
Yeah, yeah.
So what's the attack midfield you going for?
I don't know why I just didn't assume they would keep Brahim Diaz. So there are a few names I've considered. But the one I've gone for is, yes, he's old, which is the only issue, but I've gone for Isco.
Okay.
Because I think Isco 100% leaves this summer.
Yep.
And I don't know what other club takes him, to be honest.
Isco, yeah, I could see that.
I don't think no other big club in the Prem, in La Liga, in the Bundesliga takes him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with this AC Milan side building, I think he could be tempted to go there. And he instantly
flourish
improves
there.
that side.
I think exactly. I think he'd flourish there as well. I think he really enjoyed the Italian football.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the Bundesliga. So
Yeah.
Bayern Munich, they've just won the league.
Yep.
Phenomenal side. Too good. Aggressive. Too cool. I mean, Hansi Flick is leaving. Nagelsmann's coming. So you have to take into account what kind of style Nagelsmann will bring into the side.
Yeah.
So what kind of player will he be looking for?
See, the only thing I don't like about Nagelsmann is his tendency to play that three at the back. And our current squad, it's stacked in almost every position, except for one, which is the right wing back position.
So Pavard, you're not a big fan of Pavard.
Pavard can play right back, but I would so like to see a back three of Luka Hernandez left, Upamecano in the middle, and then Benjamin Pavard on the right. And
that's
as
quite
our
inexperienced if you really think about that. It's young.
Is what?
Quite young, that back.
It is young, but they're all quality players, all French, mind you.
Would that leave Sula, Boateng out?
Boateng's leaving, Alaba's leaving, Javi Martinez is leaving.
That's been confirmed.
But, yeah,
Sula still be there.
Sula will be there, so he can rotate with them. And one of our young defenders, either Lars Lucas Mai or Chris Richards, they can rotate as well. So I've gone for a right wing back because our sub right back of Sarr, Buna Sarr, he's very, very bad.
Yeah.
He needs to go. Yeah. Awful signing. I don't know what Salihamidzic was thinking. Panic buy. So I think it's quite obvious. The player I've gone for is Hakimi. Under Nagelsmann,
he would flourish.
Inter Milan are behind on their repayments of players such as Hakimi, and they are behind on Lukaku still, and they need to sell. Now, the quoted fee for Hakimi is around 40 million. We've already spent 40 million on Upamecano, so I would say we have roughly 10 million to spend. However, with the wages of Boateng and Alaba and Javi Martinez gone, plus the fact I would assume players like Corentin Tolisso and then squad players like Adrian Fien. Who else? Jan Fiete up. Him and Fien, I'd say 10 million each. And then if you can get like 20 million from Tolisso, those funds should allow you to get Hakimi. And I think from then, Nagelsmann has everything he could want and he needs.
Yeah,
because he has everything for
I think so. Yeah, he's got a great squad. He's occupied a great squad. Just a few additions, and he can go the extra step. Maybe win the Champions League again.
Yeah.
Let's look at Dortmund. They've had one of the greatest season.
They've had a bad season.
I think Haaland, Sancho, those two players have been keeping them in the game.
They've carried them.
They've changed their transfer policy. They're trying to get more experienced players into their team. So take that into account. You talked about Guerrero, so I'm going to assume he's fine as a left back there.
Yep.
Akanji, you're not a big fan of Akanji.
No, he's not good.
Yeah. Are you a big fan of Zagadou? I liked Zagadou when he first came in. I thought he was
and the thing with Zagadou is he's got potential. He's still very young. So I'm fine with keeping him.
I think Piszczek is aging at right back.
He's going at the end of the season.
There you go. So I'm maybe a right back. Emre Can, he made too many mistakes. And you only had to see the game against City, the mistake he made, that cost him the penalty.
I just don't know why he just keeps making these stupid mistakes.
I think the forward line is perfectly fine. Reina, Sancho, Thorgan Hazard, Brandt, Haaland, Royce. It's endless talent there. So I'm gonna say either you're gonna say DM or right back. Or centre back if you're not a fan of Akanji.
I was gonna say centre back or right back, but I think there's a much more pressing issue.
Keeper?
Yes.
You're not a fan of Hitz?
Berkey is awful. Hitz is 33, I think, and he's just got injured, out for the season or for foreseeable future. So they need a goalkeeper who doesn't have bread for hands,
Okay.
And speaking with their kind of new transfer policy of not just signing stupid young players, I'm going for youngish players who have an incredibly high ceiling and have resale value. So I've gone for Mike Maignan from Lille.
Okay.
He's 25 years old, so a good age.
Onana?
He was the other one I was thinking. And to be honest, I think they should get whichever one's cheaper. I think Maignan is better, but he will also be a lot more expensive because Lille sell for ridiculous prices. Like, we just got to look. They sell Arsenal Pepe for 72 million and get in Victor Osimhen for about 25.
Mind you, we're still paying them.
To 69 million.
We haven't completely paid them back in installments yet. So
yeah.
They're still getting the 20 millions here and there.
Yeah. That's the thing with Lille. They do sell for very high. But I think Mike Maignan, he'll be very good for them. Alternatively, because of price, Onana. I'd be happy with either of them.
Let's look at Leipzig.
Yes.
They just brought in Hwang after they lost Timo Werner to Chelsea.
Yes.
I think he's been okay. He got a goal against Dortmund. No, he got an assist, against Dortmund midweek. Over the weekend, sorry. Sabitzer, you got the midfield, I think is quite fine. Campbell, Sabitzer, Olmo, Tassende. They're losing Upamecano.
Yes.
So I can only assume they need to replace that centre back role.
I don't think they do.
Okay.
Because who are they coming in? They've got Jesse March coming in. And I think if you look at their back line, okay, Upamecano is gone. But let's say Nori Mukiele is gone as well.
Yeah.
Left back, they've got
Will they
Angelino.
revert to a back four? You say left back. Will they revert back to a back four because Nagelsmann's now going?
I'm assuming they do.
It's the Gladbach
but
manager, no?
No. They're taking Jesse March from RB
The
Salzburg.
American, yes, the American, of course.
So I'm assuming they go back to a back four. But either way, they've got Angelino or Halstenberg as left back.
Mhm.
Right back, they've got Klosterman or Nori Mukiele if he stays. Centre back. Now this is where it gets interesting. If they play that back five, they got Mukiele who can also play centre back. They've got Ibrahim Konate.
Yep.
Very good.
Mhm.
They got Willie Orban. There was captain. Then you got Halstenberg who can play centre back. You got Klosterman who can play centre back. And then you got Benjamin Enriques. They signed from Monaco who can play right back, left back. So they're fine defensively. What I've gone for, yes, they've signed Brian Bobbery from Ajax, young attacker who looks phenomenal. He's built like a brick shit house, by the way. I don't know if you've seen him.
Yeah, he's
ginormous.
Yeah.
But I've gone for another attacker because I just Huang, he hasn't been given a chance. First of all, I think Sherlock has been
useless,
disappointing.
Yeah,
as
should have stayed at Palace.
As has Paulson. So the player I've gone for, he's actually linked to Dortmund, and I think Dortmund will get him, especially if they sell Sancho. But I've suggested Daniel Marlon from PSV.
Okay.
He has a non-penalty expected goals of 0.6 per 90. And as a 22-year-old, he's, that's pretty good. He has a pass completion of 81% as an attacker, again, good. Progressive carries of 5.6 per 90. And overall, in 39 games in the Eredivisie and the Europa League, he has 23 goals, 7 assists.
Really good.
I think
that's really,
he has
really good. Yeah.
an incredibly high ceiling and has enough to produce now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Let's move on to La Liga, the final league here.
Yes.
Let's start with Real Madrid first. 2-2 over the weekend against Sevilla. That was their chance to top the league. Missed out. It was down to the last couple of games. I think Atletico Madrid will win it.
Yeah.
Let's look at Real Madrid. What do they need? Where do we start? There's a lot. I think defensively, you have Mendy, Varane, Militao, Nacho, Sergio Ramos. Right back, you have the likes of Odriozola, Carvajal as well. So I think defensively they should be just about fine. Forward line, Valverde, Benzema, Vinicius Junior, Rodrigo, Mariano.
Yeah,
Mariano,
yes.
yeah. Asensio, Vasquez. So I'm gonna say they've just offered Luka Modric a new contract.
Yes.
So
What can you say?
I really don't know what to say about that one, but that's Zidane. That's purely Zidane. Really, he just has an admiration for that guy. That leaves Casemiro Cruz. I'm gonna say you went for a midfielder.
I didn't, just because Zidane's gonna stay and he's gonna play the exact same midfield every single game. Plus the likes Brahim Diaz on loan. You got Isco there. You got Ødegaard.
He won't play them. Like you said,
no, he won't play them, but they're there. So I don't see the point of getting another midfielder. Even Asensio can play there.
He won't get rid of the Benzema either. He won't. He won't get rid of Benzema. So
so the player I've gone for Okay, it's a bit lazy of me, but I've gone straight out Mbappe.
Okay. Yeah,
I
yeah.
think
It'd be
if
hard
he
for them
fits
if
out on
they.
that right-hand side, he does everything they need.
But if you're talking about the depth that they have, there's no way they can afford him. Not now. Not any. Maybe not even anytime soon. To be honest, it's too
No,
much
but I'm thinking they spent no money in the last 3 windows.
because of the depth they're in. No, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
they really have this much, can they? And remember, Perez came out and said the Super League for him was designed to cover the depth. It
Yeah,
was
but
selfish.
I don't see a way. Perez said to Zidane, "You're not getting any signings for 4
I
transfer
guess so.
windows,"
Yeah, yeah.
and I think he's got nothing for the last 3. I think they must have said, "Yeah,
Sorting
get
out.
Mbappe,"
Yeah,
because what we got to remember is that they
FFP,
will get a lot of income from the
t-shirt
endorsements, the
sales, for example,
advertising, shirt
revenue,
sales,
everything. Yeah,
all of this stuff.
they'll recuperate the
So
money for sure.
he will be an investment, and he will sign like a 6-year contract with them.
Hmm.
So I think they go for him because I think Vinicius and um, Rodrigo have been bad,
Yeah, I think so too.
and even Hazard has been disappointing.
Yeah, very injury prone as well.
Yeah,
He's plagued
so
this
they
season.
need
So
to relieve the pressure on Benzema, and I think Mbappe's got 2 years on his contract. I think he'll probably be roughly the same amount as Holland would be.
yeah, 150, maybe 200.
Yeah. So unless Real, you know, pull a quickie on us and go in for Sancho, I I think Mbappe's the only one they go for, to be
Mm.
honest.
It's gone to Barcelona. Barcelona.
Mm.
Again, missed out on top of the league. They got a draw at home to Atletico Madrid. I did watch that game actually, and it was all there for them. They just didn't take their chances. I don't know if you watched the game. Usman
No,
Dembele
I didn't. I'm
again.
not watching that.
Dembele again. Open, not an open goal, but perfect opportunity to head the ball. Messi put a great ball in. He just had to keep the ball down. Didn't
Yeah.
over the bar, missed chance. I'm looking at their lineup here. PK, Longley, that other young defender, Migueza, Alba left back. Who's their right back currently?
Serginho Dest.
Dest, yeah. So he's just come in. I can't see them changing that. Again, the players I just mentioned, the centre back, PK, Longley, Migueza. That's not going to change. Forward line, I think Griezmann has been quite a disappointment, to be honest. But
I
they
think he's
can't.
coming into form.
Just it's too late though, isn't it?
It's
Look at
too
the
late, but I'm
too
looking to
late.
build on next season.
Yeah, building next season, sure. Why not? Messi, I think he will stay.
Yeah, he's 10.
That means, I guess they might be looking for a striker.
See, I don't think so. I was thinking striker, but then
Because
I thought
Griezmann
you
always plays
just
wide left.
they have to play. They are playing him through the middle, and they have to play him through the middle because he's not good on the left.
Yeah,
And they've
he's lost pace
just
as well.
spent 120 million on him. They
Mm-hmm.
can't just lose him like that. On the left, they've got Dembele, Trincao, Coutinho can play there. On the
Pedri
right,
coming in.
either of those wingers plus Messi's there.
They have Pjanic in the middle as well. Don't forget. People
In the
forget about
middle,
that part.
Pjanic, Busquets is old, but even then, they've got Pedri, they got Ricky Puig, even Ansu Fati. They got a lot of
Yeah,
young players. So the other 2 positions I was thinking left back, but I think any left back that they get will not be an improvement on Alba, and also who was that other young left back they bought?
Neto, Firpo, is that his name?
Yeah, Junior Firpo.
Firpo, yeah.
They spent a lot of money on him, so I don't
Mhm.
think they're going to go there. So I've gone for a centre back because I think PK is aging out quite badly, to be honest.
Mhm. Yeah.
And Umtiti is he's going to go.
He's
I
very
would
quiet.
imagine.
He's another one who's injury prone. We as Arsenal
Yeah,
fans have talked about getting him. I'm kind of glad we didn't because I'm tired of seeing
you
players
shouldn't.
getting. especially with the Premier League being more physical than La Liga. He's not gonna cope. He won't. I don't
He
think he'll
won't
be able to
last.
keep up, especially at the ages he's at now.
Yeah.
Finally, last
So
team.
the player I've gone for.
Oh yeah, the player, of course.
Is Sven Botman
Oh, I don't know.
from Lille.
The little player.
Yes, they've
Okay.
just signed him from Ajax. He's 21 years old, and he's an absolute behemoth at the back.
Mm-hmm.
He's almost 2 meters tall. He's ginormous, right? And he's played every game for Lille. He wins 3 aerial duels per 90, which is massive, and he has a pass completion of 88%. So I think he's exactly what Barcelona want and what they need.
Mm-hmm. Final team.
Yes.
Atletico Madrid. Now, I think they're going to win La Liga. They brought in Suarez last season, which I thought was very abnormal, but he's been very good for them.
He's been good, but he's old.
You look at the other players in midfield. I've always said that when you look at Atletico Madrid, you don't think of a player, an individual, a superstar. You think of them as a collective team.
Yeah.
That's what Simeone has managed to do, and I think he's done a phenomenal job. Who have you gone for? I can't tell you what position they need, really. Maybe a striker if Suarez is getting too old?
I have gone for a striker because I think for whatever reason, Moussa Dembele has got no game time. Suarez, he's been fine this season, but he hasn't played.
João Felix will eventually take that striker role.
I think he's disappointing.
Okay.
And they want to play either a 2 up top or a 3-4-3. And I've gone for a player who can play as a striker or one of the kind of wide strikers in the 4-3-3, right? 3-4-3, sorry.
3-4-3, yeah.
And I've gone for a player who will be out of contract in the summer. I've gone for Memphis Depay.
Oh, yeah. A player that Barca really want. They've been banging on the door for him.
He has got 29 goals and assists in 35 games this season. He, as I said, can play on the left, striker, attacking mid. He's not old either. He's only 27.
Prime.
Yeah. And he's quick. He's strong. I think he would have everyone available. He would be the most ideal for Atleti.
Yeah.
Even because he's on a free as well. I think every big team will be all over Depay, and it's about who can give him the most interesting opposition.
There you go.
I do think he'll go to Barca.
I think so
but
too.
Atleti should 100% make a move for him.
Make a good case. You won the league.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, that's all the teams. Damn, it's been almost. How long has this podcast been this time? An hour and a half.
90 minutes.
Ooh, a long podcast. But we covered as much as we could in terms of the players. I think that was quite good. Some interesting players, maybe players that people haven't heard of before, but they now have an insight of what they can do with the stats that Mr. Ziyad has provided. Always love to see that. Any last thoughts?
If any of you guys have any suggestions or you think you have a better shout for any of these teams, please let us know in the comments. We'll be interested to hear your guys' opinions. Please do like and subscribe and share with any of your mates, your family, whatever it is. And yeah, please do show us some support.
Love, guys. Thanks for watching this week's episode. We'll see you in the next one. Peace for now.
Take care.